visiting Europe, he was met like a rock star by many people. I was asking her how she accounts for the fact that Obama was greeted in Berlin, I guess it was, like a rock star, twice. 200,000 people, I believe it was, who greeted him. He wasn't even elected at that point.
Well, there's always an element of let's see what this man's about. Of course they'd go and listen to him. Of course they'd go and watch him. But to say that he's accepted by the European Union is absolutely false. There are 25 nation states within the European Union. He hasn't visited all of them. I believe he met Sarkozy, who had the presidency at that particular time. And as you know, the French are well, I'll say no more about the French, but of course Sarkozy welcomed him. He was unbelievably arrogant in some of the countries and didn't do much. He was obviously picking and choosing who he would have anything to do with. For example, he met with Gordon Brown, our Prime Minister here, and he met with David Cameron, who is the leader of the opposition. Now we're likely to have the opposition elected. And what were his comments about David Cameron? Oh, he's a lightweight. Now, this is not the sort of diplomatic answer or comment that you'd want to make about the potential leader of another country.
I was unaware of that. Obviously, that got more coverage in the UK than it did here. And I agree with you. That was an imprudent thing for the president-elect and candidate Obama to have said. I'm told that we have... You're also a veteran. My last guest was a veteran. You served in Iraq.
I was in Iraq 2003, yeah.
And thank you for your service to our nation.
That being said,
in terms of the economic situation,
I think, and in terms of inheriting 8 years of an administration's series of mid-air collisions in every possible shape and form, I definitely know that as an Iraq veteran, being involved in the most important foreign policy decision of my lifetime, I could say that the perception of America abroad has definitely been damaged. And I don't necessarily think that, I think he's been set up for failure.
How's that?
Ways. Well, the common perception that he was lacking foreign policy experience to begin with. I'm in a more difficult situation today than I was 6 months ago. And as I learned also, perception is reality. And I think that for Barack Obama, the number one focus that he really needs to be concerned about is having the support of the same people who elected him, and on this body of change, that his cabinet seems to be filled with the sort of politicos that have been incumbent in the American system for the last 20 years.
Is it possible that this whole idea of change was nothing more than a Madison Avenue ploy to get elected? And once one gets into office, one does what one wants to do anyway, regardless of what one promised during a campaign?
Right. And again, I know chose to not be involved in the election process because they felt that their vote had been marginalized to begin with, and that in some cases their vote doesn't really count. I voted for Barack Obama, but I voted for Barack Obama for a different set of reasons. I voted for Barack Obama because I felt that personally it was my opportunity to be part of something that would help dispel not necessarily the political decisions of the last how many years, but a chance to vote for something that no one ever thought would be seen in this country. And some people think that that's a silly way to vote for someone. But then again, I thought it was a pretty silly situation to be actively engaged in the destruction of a country that I was supposed to be liberating. So, again, the last half decade for me, watching the Bush administration and that, as I said, series of mid-air collisions, I felt that I had a chance to be part of something good in a not-so-good world. And so I voted for him. But Gary, I don't really know. We saw what happened yesterday with the the bailout. And every time America almost gets to that point where they're ready to actually inherit, then not end up dropping the ball. America has lost, I think, in the eyes of the world, that pick yourself up and rebuild mentality. And we missed a great opportunity after 9/11. Instead of trying to rebuild from within, we chose to start fighting abroad.
So I take it from you're enamored with Iraq, and you would be in favor of a sooner rather than later withdrawal, but it's not really a withdrawal, it's just a redeployment. This guy, Barack Obama.
I'm not a command officer, not an officer, but I know, and when you have verifiable, and people would disagree that that was never even a Taliban issue, but I think that if you're going to be anywhere, being in Afghanistan is an important place to be, considering that in 2006, over 16,000 tons of heroin was processed in the same country that we were trying to stabilize. And as it stands, 90% of the world's heroin comes from Afghanistan. So that is a real issue. Because fundamentally, when you speak about stabilizing a region, I don't see how stabilizing a region allows them to pretty much redevelop themselves as the premier location for the development of the heroin trade.
Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it. So there you go, boys. Two comments from this, as luck would have it. The first one, very much excited about Barack Obama and his potential foreign policy initiatives. The latter, maybe more cautious in his approach.
Well, you know, Gary, that's your second interviewed individual is a lot closer to my personal opinion of being more cautious with President-elect Obama. You know, there is no magic wand here, and I think people are still riding on the campaign and of what President-elect Obama had promised during the campaign. Now that the campaign is over, he is now going to be president on January 20th when he's inaugurated. We're all waiting to see what he will do. We really don't know that yet, Gary. We really don't know what he's going to do. And I think that more and more people, I believe, are starting to be more cautious about it, especially with this, with the looming crisis that is like a dark cloud over the United States with regards to our financial situation. We're all waiting to see what Obama's going to do. We're all waiting to see what kind of what kind of policies he's going to develop with our neighbors, with countries that are not so friendly to us, especially Iran.
Well, you know, Ed, our last guest, said that